So, once again, to stress this one point, clinical environmental medicine left already the linear monocausal scientific approach and is looking for complexity in chronic multisystemic illnesses associated to the environment by regarding multifactorial influences, multifunctional implications, and multidimensional impact processes. We are aware of 4 qualities of stressors: physical, toxical, chemical, the biological and psychosocial ones, altogether going to this one man individual was not able to regulate this in the moment. Each of these stressors, out of each quality, is able to function as a burden alone, but mostly they work together. Our problem is no interest from the mainstream science. So do you see any chance in future to make more young scientists interested in those subjects?
I'm very optimistic for the next generation. I think that when the public health significance of a problem becomes evident, the younger generation is ready to react. I think for example, in the field of climate change, we are seeing this type of paradigm shift from something that the environmental issues struggled through the 50s, from 50s to the 90s to make it a breakthrough. But now they are leading the international environmental policies. And of course, we have a lot of challenges in that field too. But looking forward, what is going to happen in the environmental health, I think that similar development can be expected. Of course, parallel to also improvement of different analytical techniques that allow us to understand better the complexity of the processes happening inside the human body.
Yes, but who will pay for this? How to raise public funding for independent research on those subjects? Independent research.
Oh, if I only knew the answer to this question, this is a very challenging thing. But somehow we have survived in the past, so I believe that also there will be a way to move forward. Of course, on different levels, from national to the European Union level, we need to raise interest of the funders to invest money on this, and also when we can demonstrate the results of new approaches, then it will be possible also to involve the medical industry, which has of course huge resources available.
From my point of view, all the health system, government, insurance companies, they all have an interest to involve this clinical parts into their scope, for they spend a lot of money unnecessarily now, and they could put this money into research.
Yeah, I think from the point of view of economical effects, we have to move with having the population aging and having more chronic diseases. We have to move forward to prevention, and now this is taking us closer to what we are looking for here today, that we could look at the interaction between the human being and the environment, and we would try to act before we have the patients suffering from these diseases the environment is causing. And that would be in the interest of the employers, of the insurance companies, of government, and of course individuals, the population itself, who could live healthier life and avoid diseases.
That's the point. We have end of the pipe strategy at the moment, and our prevention we look for is tertiary prevention or secondary prevention. We should come to a primary one, and we have already from the contact with the patients who suffer from this illness, we know about the primary prevention strategies. If we start this very early in the population, in kindergarten, in schools, and at universities, and spend our money on this, we got a lot of money spared in later on in the older ages.
Yeah, the challenge, of course, is that it's we are saving a lot of money, but later, and we don't. don't know, we cannot always establish who is going to save the money. So in that sense, that's a problem for the society to identify the different parties and to make the wise decision to develop for a cleaner and healthier world and allocate resources accordingly. But I think that from my point of view, coming from the scientific community, this is especially important that we need to do a scientific analysis of our world to be able to do wise investments.
And coming to the point of change in future, to start cooperation between research scientists and physicians practicing clinical environmental medicine in order to coordinate theory and practice. Is it worthwhile?
Yeah, it sounds wonderful to be able to learn from the clinical practice in the science, and I assume that also the clinicians need to rely on scientific evidence on, for example, a magnitude of different risks when they are considering possible diagnostic options in a complex situation. But of course, this is, as you know, outside of my personal work, I rarely interact with clinicians, so it is a magnificent opportunity to listen and learn, but how to make the collaboration fruitful in the future is something that we have to work on together.
Break down walls.